Hey everybody, it's Lucas D. So in this video I just wanted to test out our Gladiator duelist build and see how it performs in maps. I don't normally play standard characters, but I have a few characters that I've ripped to standard league, and I just thought for the purpose of the video, why don't we just test out the Gladiator build and see how it performs in the standard league before the actual expansion Atlas of Worlds comes out. Now this is the build we're looking at basically with the Gladiator class on the skill tree. Now I'm going to switch over to our Path of Exile game now, and we're going to hop onto it. Now we don't actually have a duelist character that I can actually do this build on in standard, but we will be testing it on one of my shadow characters. Now if we actually go to the skill tree here, I can just share with you guys. So it's quite similar to the duelist tree, as you can see here, except we won't be picking up these nodes. Instead we'll be picking up these nodes. So very similar. We won't be picking up any ascendancy points. That just replicates how good the build will actually be when we actually do get the duelist gladiator build. So I just wanted to leave those out. What I really wanted to do was just test these nodes and see how they perform in a cast on crit scenario with the duelist gladiator class. So as you can see, it's quite similar to, let's go back to our other screen. It's quite similar to the build I mentioned in the previous video, pretty much with the nodes we took, and what I'll just do is we'll test it out in a map. So let's get back into the game now and have a look. Now in standard I don't really have many maps to play off here. I did customize a map, a tier 6 map. This is the highest one I could find, so we're just going to do with that for the time being, and also remember that this isn't the finished product, but this is the gear we'll be using. Basically we want a dagger which has over 9% crit. Everything else is fine. You do want high accuracy as well, so this dagger only has +5 to accuracy, so more accuracy the better. More attack speed also is important, so we've put attack speed as an actual mod on this dagger as a crafting mod, so that's something there. In our helm we just want life and resist, and let me just share with you the dagger. So the dagger is going to have a whirling blades, fortify, faster attacks. The helm's going to have cast and damage taken, mortal core, increased duration, and tempest shield. So those are what we'll have in our helm. In the shield we'll have a warlord's mark, blasphemy, and hatred. That's our auras. In the boots we'll have, okay, I think this is a trigger gem, riposte. So cast on critical strike, summon ice golem, so we have our golem up with additional accuracy, and blade vortex. Now blade vortex in the patch notes, if you've read the patch notes, I believe we'll be getting a buff, especially for cast on crit, because they'll be doing so much more damage. I personally believe Blade Vortex is getting buffed in the new patch, so look out for this one. We might switch that over with Ethereal Knives, so that could go there, that could go there. Maybe in this video we can test out both of them and see how they perform at the current time. Now these are the belt you want is something with at least good physical damage, good life, and resists. The gloves you want good life, you want gloves with accuracy on it, and you want good resist. Now we've got cast on critical strike, reckoning, molten shell. Okay, I've got tempest shield in here as well. Let's take that out and put increased critical strikes in. So okay, so this will just make the cast on crit a little bit more better, so we can get molten shell up a little bit more faster, which will be good. Alright, so we'll just put our map in. Okay, and we'll give this build a test. So at the moment we've got 47% chance to crit. That's without our, actually is that on Cyclone? Yeah, so 47% chance to crit. That's without our power charges, so we'll get an extra 250% bonus on top, so it could get up to about 70% chance to crit with our gear on, things like that, which is pretty good. But we'll just see how we go. Did I mention the armor? I think I did. Cyclone, cast on crit, Bladefall Ethereal Knives, and power charge on critical strike. So let's go into the map now and just test out this build and see how it actually performs. Okay, so our auras are up. We've got Warlord's Mark up and Hatred up. Also, just remember, guys, this is just build testing. So if you just also remember, like, we're only just testing out the build, and we don't know how it's going to perform in the new patch when the actual expansion comes out. Cast on crit has gotten a little bit of a nerf, so there will be a little bit of trial and error when we look into the new patch and see how it performs, but I'm still going to be going with this build. I think the nerfs on cast on crit are there is less chance for it to proc the spells, so the spells only proc at one individual time. So if we have, it just means, like, say we've got cast on crit with Cyclone, it just means if you've got a 6 link and you've got 4 other spells to cast, it means the spells aren't going to cast constantly simultaneously. So it's not going to really affect our build that much. It might actually boost our build up a bit because we've only got 2 spells we'll be casting, and the way that what that means is the 2 spells will be getting a buff in damage, so that's good. And even if we don't like the way the 2 spells are performing, we can just take 1 spell out and respec our 5 link and see how that performs also. So I'm not really fussed about the cast on crit. I think they just tried to do it for a little bit of balance changes, just to see how it goes in the new expansion. And if you guys have looked at the patch note for patch 2.4.0, you'll notice also that with the trigger gems, there is another mod that's in there. Let me just have a look. So with the trigger gems, say you've got a cast on critical strike, and say we have, well, let's give this one for example. So say we got Reposed, cast on critical strike, summon Ice Golem, and Blade Vortex. Say we also have a Bladefall in there. So if we got a Bladefall which is in our cast on critical strikes Bladefall here, and we've got it on cast on critical strike Bladefall here, it just, what it means is you can't actually have Bladefall in here also, so constantly simultaneously cast it. You can only have it in one trigger gem setup now. So you got to always remember in the next patch, just make sure you separate your spells with your cast on critical strikes and things like that, otherwise they won't trigger anymore. So it's a thing they've fixed up when it comes to trigger gems, just because it's been a little bit too overpowered and everybody's been, you know, using that a lot. Anyways, let's get moving. So enough talking, let's start moving. So as you can see, the power charges are up, the Warlord's marks are up. Damage is doing okay. Let's see if we can clear a little bit faster. I would like to see cast on crit proc a little bit better. At the moment it's not really casting as much as I would like, but okay, that's the way it is at the moment. Alright.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
So I do find this a little bit better than the way normal Cyclone actually works. Also remember guys, the life's getting hit hard here because remember, we're not using any ascendancy skill points. Remember, in the actual patch we will have that extra buff where when we do kill these mobs, 10% of physical damage is actually going to be like when the mobs get killed, they will actually explode, doing 10% physical damage. So just keep that in mind. Also, we'll have 100% of our block chance to spell block, and our block chance will be over 65%. So keep that in mind, guys. Like, even though we might look like I'm getting hit a bit hard here, just remember that. Let's hope this guy doesn't one-shot me. So where it's a bit annoying, I guess, is when we're on only one mob. As you can see, I've noticed that it's taken a lot longer for it to actually cast the crits. Well, not cast the crits, just critical strikes don't proc as much as I'd like. Anyway, so what level are we? So we're level 81. The thing I don't like about the blade, the whirling blades, is it's not like leap slam where you can just jump over everything and just get out of the way. Anyway, guys, so that's the build in action, just testing it out. It's not going to be the exact test, as you can see, but it's going to have a similar effect to the way this game style is. So if you guys are thinking of trying out that build I did in the last video, this is how it's going to play out for you guys. So if you like this sort of play style where you're just cycloning and casting spells as you're just cycloning and, you know, trying to clear and as quick as you possibly can, it's a pretty good build to play. It will be pretty tanky as well in the new patch. So I hope you guys are looking forward to the new patch, and this is just me testing the build out before the actual patch goes live. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. See you, bye.